I'm really, really interested to see how in the world this start is gonna go. Ugh. Starting next to last, I'm basically just trying to finish this race. Like I said, sort of get a feel for how the CMS people race. And regardless of how this one goes, we're still going to do Sunday's CMS practice event. Because it's entirely possible that the sports car crew will be different than this crew. Yeah, I looked at it and then saw it was iRacing and said no. But no, mostly I just saw it was GT3 and was like, I'm not too keen on GT3 cars and iRacing. About the only one I like is that Z4, and even that one I can't get it to drive worth crap. Should be getting close up together here. Because it should be quote unquote green anytime here.
The lap is a 2:02.88.
Expecting his car to go. I wonder if he's on primaries. Oh, he is. That explains why I have so much more speed than he does. Was everybody on primaries? Like, they do know you can switch tires, right? Like, you just come in at like 30 minutes and change tires. Guess maybe they all expect that to take too long or something. For a second there, it looked like there were cars off to the left. I just can't drive these things on the primaries.
14.16.
Whew. Well, I'm not the only one having trouble with these anyway. I feel like I'm literally the only car on alternates. Maybe I'm just the only car that practiced on race fuel.
That
Well, at least I'm not losing positions. I mean, I guess it is very possible that some of these guys will just take fuel. And then in that pit stop, they will overtake me again. But I mean, it was only like 15 seconds or 20 seconds to take tires. I feel like these tires will definitely get you more than 20 seconds over their lifetime. Because I don't know, that primary tire is just so tough to drive with. But again, many of these people probably drive this car a lot more than me, so maybe they know something I don't about how the alternates feel when they start really getting worn.
That was a 110.44.
I read that thing and I didn't see anything about the tires. I mean, if I'm on the wrong tire, that's really unfortunate. Why would they limit the tire though? Like in the actual Indycar series, you use both sets and you have to use one of each. I mean, if you're gonna limit it, I prefer to use that. I guess I could throw on primaries at the pit stop just to be sure. Sort of cover myself, I guess. Worst comes to worst, I get disqualified and I don't get to qualify next time, oh darn. But I really don't remember seeing anything about tires.
That was a 109.33.
Really overcooked that. Whew. Just pulled it back in. That was close. That was so close. Somebody already made a pit stop. Seems like Brian found his pace. He was really slow early. He's definitely found pace now.
That was a 110.10.
Like I said, I don't even remember seeing a section about tires, but I may have just accidentally glanced past it. Because I was reading it pretty quick this morning. Feels like this isn't really the tire you want to be on for very long anyway, though. It's already starting to not pull through the corners like I want it to. So regardless, I might actually come in a little early for this first stop and then just switch on to the primaries anyway. I just can't imagine outside of ovals why you'd ever want to limit the tires. Like, that's the only thing that wouldn't really make sense to me. Because on ovals it makes sense. Okay, so I didn't just miss it. Good. Because on ovals it totally makes sense to limit the tires. Because otherwise you have crazy strategies going every which way. And in the actual IndyCar series they do limit what tires you can use on the ovals. It's almost entirely just the primaries. It's usually a hard tire. on the bright side, we'll be able to just feel out how this tire feels over its lifetime and see if we want to toss on another set of these or switch. There's about a 5-minute window with fuel where we can pit a little bit early and take a different set of tires. And I haven't done long runs in this car at all, because my previous setup I just couldn't drive. The other trick is getting heat into those primaries is really tough. I realized today, I think it was you, Paradox, who was mentioning yesterday or the other day when I was practicing this combination, that my rears were really, really cold. And I noticed when I threw on the primaries, I had exactly the same problem, where my rear tires were really cold. Oh, Hasek went off. I think that's going to be a pretty common theme on this. Again, I'm not pushing the car at all. I'm just taking exactly what it'll give me. Trying to be very, very nice with it everywhere. Because I know this car bites, and it bites hard.
The lap was a 1:09.19.
Big thing is I just need to avoid lockups. Oh, he's still sitting there. What in the world happened? Oh, that's interesting. He was the one that was raging earlier at somebody about their internet connection. Well, raging isn't the right word, but very, very, very quick to be annoyed with somebody about their internet connection. Which again, very few people have any actual control over.
That was a 1:08.76.
I just did a lap faster than my qualifying lap. I really don't understand why this dude is just sitting here. Like, go back to the pits or something. Don't just sit there off track. Unless he's just raging somewhere about something. I guess he could have just walked away. It's kind of making me suspicious that maybe I accidentally closed the door on him or something and he was like getting really close, but I wasn't checking my mirror that much because he was still like 1 second back. And it was ping-ponging between about 3 seconds and 1.5. So hopefully nothing happened that I'm unaware of. Oh, that was not good. But what happened there?
That was a 1:13.97.
Like somebody else hit a wall. Oh, car. What is going on? Turn. That's probably the toughest thing for me to get this car to do is just turn through the center and on exit. The front end of the car just doesn't dig. We've got 15 minutes in and we have just under 30 minutes of fuel left.
12.16.
That's a really dirty lap. Whew. This car is hard work. Again, it's fun, it's tricky, but it's real hard work to drive this thing. Also, I feel like my brake points are needing to, already starting to move back a bit, just to get through these corners. Oh, something happened behind me again. I don't like when things happen behind me. Makes me think I did something wrong and just missed it. Oh, that's 2 leaves already.
6.
It's not ideal. Well, on the bright side, it's none of the people that are around me, which is good. Means I still have people to race with. Oh, not first gear. Well, I guess the first guy that exited there was around me. Somebody's pitting already? What? You're not going to make it to the end on fuel if you pit now. Good lord, it seems like just being consistent and not crashing in this will get you positions. It's been a while since I've seen this many cars off track. In any event. Outside of maybe Project Cars, but but that's because the AI gave up.
That was a 1:11.08.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the pits. Very odd. Like, I expected the people at the front to go really, really long. I'm not sure if RFactor 2 actually does this visually, but it actually looks like my right front has some graining on it. And if it actually does do that visually, that's freaking awesome.
That was a 1:10.06.
Are there really this many people that are just throwing their cars into walls? Oh, that's awesome that it actually does visual graining. That's so cool that I could actually see it. I love that. Because the odd thing is I can't actually feel it. I don't know if it's just the amount of rubber that's on track or if it's this tire compound or what. But it doesn't actually feel... Well, I guess it actually does, because like I said earlier, it felt like I lost a lot of front-end grip, which is what graining does. You just have that rolled up rubber on the surface of the tire instead of the tire surface itself. Is that the leader coming up to lap me? That is totally the leader coming up to lap me. Holy cow. 20 minutes in.
That was a 1:11.39.
20 minutes in and I'm getting lapped. That's pretty bad. Probably have to let second place by here. See how much faster he is on the straightaway. Unfortunately, this is not a section where I really want to be the slow car. So we're just going to take this wide. That was not how I wanted to do that, but that car went through that corner so fast. Whew.
That was a 1:13.15.
Those two up front are real fast. I'm almost cracking the top 10 though, with all the pit stops people are making. And all the crashes. Getting 11th is already way better than I thought. My goal for this race is literally just to finish it. I think my pit stop's probably going to be about 40 seconds, so. Also, opening up that little bit of brake blanking was definitely a good choice. Or getting rid of a little bit of it, I should say. Because the car is definitely responding much better on brakes now. Like, it doesn't feel like it's washing out halfway through the corner anymore on brake power.
The lap was a 1:10.95.
It's going fairly smoothly for me so far, though. I've only hit one wall once, and it was a side spine, so it wasn't really bad. And I've only blown this corner once in any significant way. And my times seem like they're pretty consistent. They're slow, but they're consistent. The alternates are lasting a lot longer than I thought they would. But I think I am going to go with primaries for the second stint. I think that's a much smarter choice. Basically, I just want to get till there's about 26 to 24 minutes left,
The lap
and
was
then
a
that's it.
1:09.9.
Well, I guess with that little time left, it would be worth going on the... Basically, I should have started on the primaries with the fuel strategy I'm taking. And then gone to the alternates. So in this case, I'll actually probably switch to alternates. And since I never trust myself with fuel calculations at the best of times, I'm probably just going to take a full tank to be safe. And I'll probably have quite a bit of fuel left over, but it's better than running out. Although, one of the interesting things is this car should have fuel conservation settings somewhere. I just don't know where they would be if they exist in RFactor 2.
The lap was a 1:09.7.
Because realistically, you probably could stretch. Like, if you really wanted to go on a deep strategy, you could probably stretch the initial fuel to be about 25% longer. Starting to get a little bit of vibration from the wheels, because they're probably pretty well done for. Unfortunately, I need them to last a little bit longer. Well, I've just been abusing them with little lockups and not realizing it, both of which are equally possible. But it does feel more like they're just getting to the end of their useful life. Considering there's 25 seconds behind, these guys coming up on me are definitely lead lap cars. Try and find a good spot to let them by without ruining our own race too much. Maybe don't let him by here. I think there's another one not too far behind me. I think I saw him battling with somebody. Yeah, there it is. And the blue dot on the map will be the first car that I'm fighting for position with. That'll be that car that's 8 seconds back on my map here, or on the top left section there. I have to go all the way down to third for that corner now. Just let them take the inside here. It's one of the easier places that I'm not going to lose a lot of time from doing it. So I'm actually going to lose more time to them letting them by here than I will by letting them by in that corner. Let the next one by on the straightaway up here. Vibration's getting worse and worse the more laps I do with these tires. Again, I really need them to last at least 4 more minutes, hopefully.
The lap was a 1:12.66.
Alright, we didn't lose too much time doing that. But again, the person behind me now, we are fighting for position. Although they have already pitted, so they're probably going to be on much fresher tires. The strategy might work out for a top 15 at least. Which again, I was looking to finish, period. So I was looking at P18. Anything above that is kind of a win for this situation. Rears are starting to feel it now. Oh, my front right is at 46%. Oh, that's so bad. No wonder it's starting to vibrate. The tire's like, please, kill me.
That was a 1:11.99.
We might have to pit this lap. Oh! Man, I'm not even getting up into 5th gear. Like, the tires just don't have anything left to give. Yeah, we've got a pit. I think, considering I'm doing it exactly halfway, I think the primaries are going to be the better choice. But I've got to find a spot where I can actually go down and check them. There we go. Go ahead and let them know now that I'm hitting the pit lane. Whew. Whew, whew, whew. That was a tough stint. Holy cow. Oh my word. Oh, you could definitely afford to take tires. That was super fast.
25.43.
Yeah, that's why I've said many times, if you want the most realistic option right now, RFactor 2 is far and away the one that does the most in terms of just the stuff that it has in it. Now, I did not do very many laps on these primaries, so this is going to be very sketchy for like the first 5 or 6 laps. It'll be interesting, but there's a high possibility I just spin and throw it in a wall. So we're going to be braking earlier than we really need to. But realistically, I should have gone primary, or primary deep stint, and then alternates. But again, considering there's about 30, it was an hour race, so I really just needed to. The alternates would have been just as bad in the second stint. So I think it was just a much better idea to go on these. Unfortunately, there's probably a lot of guys here that went on the alternates. Now the car behind is on the lead lap. I'm not fighting him for position at all. So we're going to try and find a spot to let them by. Probably after the next corner is going to be better. Oh, unless I just blow that corner. Let me just keep this way out to the side. Let him by there. Oh. Science per dollar. Right? Oh. Ah, this is RFactor 2. Oh, does RFactor 2 have any... Oh, old formula? I have no idea. That's not something I would personally look at grabbing, unfortunately, so I have no clue. I'm sure some are probably out there. I have no idea how good they would be, though. And that's not a type of content that I really go looking for. Oh, the person we're fighting for position just pitted. Or at least one of them did.
9.7.
Oh. I need to alter my brake point for that corner pretty drastically. Whew. It's odd how the tires aren't that different in overall grip, but they're different enough. This car is almost like a workout to drive, man. The wheel is so heavy. But it's interesting because it's heavy in a way that still gives you a ton of feedback through the wheel. It's not like heavy just to be heavy. I think that's the leader again. He's about to lap me another time. God, he's fast. Oh, the person in front of me hasn't pitted yet. Okay, so they're gonna have to pit at some point. And as we saw with my pit stop, even when you're taking a lot of fuel and tires, the pit stop's only about 8 seconds. I guess I should have known that. I watch Indycar. I mean, I know they do fuel and tires at the same time. Probably down the front straight. It's going to be the easiest spot to let them by. So we're not going to be costing them any time here, really. Unless something goes crazy wrong.
The lap was a 110.19.
Well, 110.1 on these tires is not bad at all. Unfortunately, the only Champ Car mod I know of right now is for Stock Car Extreme. I don't know. Although, again, it's not something I look for. And that mod is very good, but then you have to deal with the graphics of Stock Car Extreme, which are not ideal. Although I wonder how the mod transfer is going to work for Automobilista. Because if all those mods just transfer straight over, that'd be kind of nice. Although they really need to modify their mod system anyway. Game chugs so hard on the menus if you have a bunch of mods installed. Oh. Okay, so that's the car in front. Just finally started pitting. Mr. Peterson.
11.19.
I can't believe there's some people behind me who've pitted 3 times. Actually, I can't believe he's pitted 3 times and he's only 10 seconds behind me and I've only pitted once. That just shows how slow I am in these things. One nice thing about these primaries is they're really consistent, though.
The lap was a 110.09.
Oh, that makes sense. Mod conversion tool. What somebody needs to make is somebody needs to convert that Endo Racers mod from RFactor 1 over to Stock Car Extreme. That would be fantastic. I've heard great things about that mod and how many cars were represented in it. I think I gave up a little too much time doing that. That's alright. Oh, turn, car, turn. He's right on my booty now. This is for position behind me now.
The lap was a 112.93.
Well, someone has converted it. Alright, I need to find that then. Ugh, I need to start going to third there. Wow, that was a big old brake check from him. Not a fan of that. I mean, again, if you know you're going to have to brake the instant you jot in front of me, then don't jot in front of me. Stay to the inside. I'll leave room to the outside. You'll likely get the position anyway. not a 16-year-old kid. I don't have crazy reflexes. I'm also not a professional race car driver. I don't have crazy reflexes. So evidently, I guess that explains how Miller has 3 pit stops and is still up here in the top 10.
1, 12,
He's very quick.
8.
I'll definitely have to grab that afterwards. The car behind is definitely not one I'm fighting with position for, so when he gets up here, it would be nice. Oh, big front right lockup. That's going to hurt that tire quite a bit. That's a tire you lean on pretty heavily around here. Some of these corners. Trying to be nice, but he's not going. I figured he'd just zoom through the inside there.
1.
Oh, I'm getting a little too aggressive with my braking now. Oh, I guess there's only one other person I'm racing with now. 4 people have quit. Well, Lozecki doesn't surprise me. Well, right now I'm not gonna bother doing it. I mean, I would likely install it and remove everything else just to test it, but I'm not gonna do very much with Stock Car Extreme right now anyway.
The lap was a 1:11.82.
Because their next game should be relatively close. And that's the one that looks much prettier. We'll see what it looks like when it's actually in motion, but in their screenshots at least, looks like they've done a lot to advance the graphics. Which was honestly pretty much my only annoyance with Stock Car Extreme. Just that it looked so poor that it was really rough to drive. Because the physics feel nice, the content is fresh and interesting. Although I don't like all that many of the tracks, but they're at least different and new. And a lot of the cars are very different than stuff you find other places. So I definitely, like I said, I enjoy playing it, I just don't enjoy looking at it. When you're talking about like hour-long races with graphics like that, it's, for some people it might not matter. For me, it's really tough. Because I have vision issues anyway.
That was a 1:10.95.
And 1:10.9, considering how little running I've done on these tires, really not that bad. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure the guy behind me is catching me. Try and let both of these guys by. Oh, that's one of the reasons I like letting people like that by, because now I know that 100% was not my fault and I had nothing to do with it. Unfortunately for him, I can't. There's no good spot to let him by. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Pit crew, please. Alright. They're all going to be coming way out to the edge here, so we're just going to stay off until here. Have to be very careful, I don't want to ruin somebody else's race here. That's exactly what I was hoping to not do all race. Unfortunately, it did end up happening, but at least it happened pretty late. I went a really long way without doing that, though. And again, in terms of actual mechanical damage, I don't think there's any. I think it's just going to be wing tires. And that's it. Oh, it looks like there's a little mechanical damage because it's 20 seconds worth. Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the way it is. Like, again, graphics don't make any of these games fantastic, but they really, really enhance your immersion and your feel. On the bright side, looks like a couple people just quit. So I think we actually gained positions after that incident somehow. Which is pretty awesome. So I think I was in like 14th, wasn't I? No, I was in 13th. Or maybe I was in 12th, I don't know. Either way, it's funny. Worst case scenario, I think we don't lose any positions. Because those people that exited. I mean, you only have 13 minutes left after an hour-long race. Why would you exit now? It just seems silly. Oh, he lost his front wing. I was like, why is he going so slow? Oh! That gathered back in. Ugh.
That was a 125.07.
God. Once you're straddling that freaking curve, it's really hard to pull the car back in. Oh, the next closest car is a lap ahead of me. I see. So somebody is going to have to wreck pretty severely within the next like 8 minutes for me to gain any positions. You never know, it might happen. Particularly with how many people are having issues with this car. And with how tough it is to handle on worn tires. God, when they're brand new, these alternates have so much grip. Like they just pull you through the corner. So well. Unfortunately, I'm still not battling this person. I mean, I could get my lap back from him, but he's gonna... Previously, he was much, much faster anyway. That's probably still going to be the case. But he is the closest thing I have to competition in this race so far. But he's the closest thing left that I have to competition. Okay, it's frustrating that so many people quit. I mean, again, it's a league race. It's an hour long. Just tough it out. I mean, there's enough room around Mid-Ohio you can usually get out of the way. If you're afraid of being a nuisance or being too slow.
That was a
well, 110 is really bad with these tires and this relatively low fuel. I wonder if there's any way in RFactor 2 to force the use of different sets of tires. Because considering the fuel tank doesn't last that long anyway, it'd be kind of fun to enforce the actual Indycar rule of having to use at least one set of each. Also, that Brian Hasser guy, he's the one that just has been sitting outside of, on the inside of the keyhole for the vast majority of the race. So he has actually just been sitting. Like, why not go back to the pits and watch the race that way? It's so odd. I did not think that car was going to catch me that fast. Thought I was going to have a little more time to get through part of this section before I let him by. Still blows my mind that people are as fast as they are through these sections. Like, I just can't get the car to be stable. Or turn. The biggest problem is it just doesn't want to turn.
That was a 1:11.81.
Well, I guess if you can manage oversteer, you can just keep the rear really stiff and then just spin it around the corners. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I had to make sure I didn't go all the way across the infield there. Fortunately, now we have a huge amount of wheel vibration. I mean, we're not competing with anybody behind us, so we're going to go ahead and pit for new tires. No reason not to. Because again, we're not competing with anybody behind us, and Steve Miller's obviously much faster than we are. So there's no real reason to have to deal with vibrating tires. Oh man! Oh man! Oh, that was close. Oh.
That lap was a 1:51.00.
Oh, he must have damage. Obviously, we'll stay over to the left here. Oh, I did not want to go that far left. Went a little too far left. I just wanted to take the chicane once. That's my excuse. That was awful. Well, the bright side, I didn't have to lock them up in the dirt there, so we don't need another new set of tires.
was a 1:26.90.
Another lap down. Okay, so I need Steve Miller to crash now, hard enough to ruin his engine, and then we can pick up 11. On the bright side, I still crashed a heck of a lot less than I thought I would. And to be fair, once I knew I couldn't pick up anything, I started driving much more aggressively. I should have been well offline enough to not influence this corner at all. I may have still freaked out a little bit when I did it, but with the speed he was showing, I didn't feel safe going through that corner ahead of him. And by safe, I mean I feel like he would have had enough speed in the center that he would have just popped into the rear of me without meaning to. One of the biggest differences I've noticed is the people who are good in these are very, very good in the center and into the corner. Like their car just flies into the corner at very high speed. Again, I don't know if setup actually means that much on this car. Probably doesn't. But you never know. Kind of interested before I leave this race. I definitely want to take a look at Hoog's setup that he shared and see if it's just like significantly better feeling. So I want to save it and then try it in like single player for a lap or two. Just how different it is. Also, I wonder if he shared a race setup or a qualifying. Probably a race. Not really all that much point in sharing a qualifying setup, because you can usually guess what you want to do. Just take off a bit of downforce and take out all the fuel, throw alternates on it. Again, this car ahead is the next closest car I have to somebody to try and beat, but he is racing with a guy that's not too far in front of him, so we won't do anything crazy. I'm guessing the gearing, at least, is probably very different than some of the other setups. I notice, particularly that first corner, I don't want to drop to third, but on exit the car almost requires it. And some of these corners I'd like to use first, but first gear is just so torquey. I can't really get away with it. It's the leader coming through again. I almost feel like the leader might be a lap ahead of everybody. If I really wanted to, I could let the leader go by and not do another lap, but I kind of want to do another lap. Again, I like this car and I like this combination. straddle that curb, it's not good. There's a very, very, very low center. I should say just very low bottom. I did have way too much fuel in. This is a fun combination. Again, it's always disappointing when everybody that you could potentially be fighting with behind you just quits. Instead of sticking it out and actually having a race. But it happens. Four laps down. Wow, only 3 people finished on the lead lap. And Slee was almost a lap down. God. That's insane. 105.1. 105.5. Alright, before I forget, like I said, I want to save his setup that's in here. Are both of those guys? No. One of them is from something else. Okay. Load. Save. Okay. I actually want to see what is different. So he started with less fuel, so he's probably planning on being on alternates. Gearing is actually not the same. So he actually changed some of the individual gears. But he didn't change this or this, but he changed everything from third onward. It's a much lower wheel range, obviously. His pump is lower, his power is higher, coast is a little bit lower. Preload is way lower. See, that makes no sense to me. Alright, Paradox. Because with the preload that low, the car should not turn into the corner. Oh, he has more downforce on than I do. That's interesting. Brake throttle map. I don't know what that is. Probably gonna have to figure out what in the world that is. I almost wonder... I wonder what that actually means. I wonder if that's how much throttle it automatically keeps applied, even when you're braking. Suspension, stiffer at the front, softer at the rear. Again, stiffer at the front. Oh wait, no, here's his setup, sorry. Yeah, so he's stiffer here, stiffer, softer. He leaves the Packers alone. Stiffer. Much, much stiffer on the roll bars. Less toe. Increases the caster. Moves the weight balance to the front. I should have done that, I just forgot about it. Less camber. That's surprising. Much, much, much lower tire pressures though. Much lower. And he even uses less brake blanking than I do. Interesting. Alright, so I just want to try a few laps real quick with that setup and see how different it feels. My guess is it'd actually be probably difficult to drive on off of the corner. But we'll see. And then I'm super tired, so I'm done immediately after that. That was a stressful race. Fun race, but man, so much work. So much work to finish 4 laps down. Although again, it makes me feel a little bit better that only 2 other people finished on the lead lap. Those front 2 were ridiculously fast. Luckily I have the exact same thing already loaded, because it's the last AI race I did also. Oh, and before I forget, I want to check something on the replay also. Make sure I wasn't the cause of that incident at the start. No. Let's drive his setup his way first. Just see how it feels. Well, I think the track starts with no. Alright. Still not happy on cold tires. Gearing is very weird. Well, it's definitely much harder to drive. Sort of what I expected. I want to give it a better shot than that, though. Really don't understand the gearing. It's almost like it's geared for an oval. Somehow it turns so much better even though the front is stiffer. It makes no sense to me. I think once there's rubber down, this would actually feel more secure. Well, I guess there is more downforce on it, isn't there? Well, it's definitely faster. As just immediately put in a lap better than my best. Huh. That's really, really surprising. I actually think probably what mattered most of all was just how low his tire pressures were, comparatively. And again, that's significantly more front downforce. Interesting. I'll have to play with that more next time. See what kind of changes we can get. Either way, that was fun enough. Hopefully we'll see if we do more with them. Depends on a lot of stuff. But again, at least Sunday. And then tomorrow we have probably mostly RFactor 2 and the Friday night event. Hopefully we get people to show up this time with the World Racers. So, as always, that was fun for me. Hopefully it was fun for you guys also. And as always, thank you all very much for stopping by. I'll see you guys later.